a very long time since I have done a solo episode of Mark My Words, and it's been way too long. Life has just been insanely busy. I've had a few breaks just due to life, due to, maintaining some balance and mental health in my world. And with me getting so close to 100 episodes, I'm not quite sure where I'm at in the count. It's about 100 as of this recording, as of this date. I am not quite sure when I'm going to put this out. Could be tonight, could be in a week or two. I don't really know. But in typical Mark My Words fashion, typical Mark Schmidt fashion, can't even get the words out, I'm going to go ahead and do what I'd like to call the not quite 100th episode celebration. And I don't know if it's so much of a celebration. I think it's just more of a pat on the back, which I feel I deserve. It takes a lot of hard work to pull off doing a show, a podcast on your own. I mean, I'm basically it, other than my awesome guests that have been on the show. It's taken a lot of work and a lot of trial and error to figure out what really works for me and what works as far as this thing that I'm calling Mark My Words. And I have gotten so much out of doing this show, and I really just want to reflect and just really pay tribute to all the people who have been on this show and all the people I've met along the way. I mean, this has really been, even though I started actually recording in 2020, this idea really came together in 2019, and it was all because of LinkedIn Local Baltimore. I started going to those events back in the late aughts, teens, whatever people. No, not the aughts. I think the aughts would have been 2000, 2009. Well, the late teens in the Baltimore, Maryland area is when I went to LinkedIn Local Baltimore. And they had some awesome events. They're still having awesome events if you're in the Baltimore area. I really miss going, and that's my shout out to all of them. I really miss that group and miss going to see all the great people who are a part of it and just the great professionals living in that area. I really miss that whole scene. So that's really where it started. There was, I think it was the very first event that I went to. They had a bunch of people just talking to us about making content. And I got so much encouragement, not only that night, but really over the course of the time that I went to LinkedIn Local Baltimore. I got a lot of encouragement to make content and just to really get out of my shell, because as somebody who was born with a cleft palate and lip, as well as some other issues, I had been subtly and maybe even not so subtly discouraged from putting myself out there and speaking in public. I can remember one particular incident from grade school, and I won't get into that today. But even though I came out of that incident with the support of my mother, I was able to get in there and speak, did a good job, got a lot of pats on the back. Good for the ego, but so many other things have happened along the way that have made me kind of struggle. It's like I'm always fighting that battle of I'm believing in myself hard, but the world just kind of feels like they're second guessing, not sure of what I have to offer, and just I feel the constant just grind to really prove myself. So for me to be here now and to get that encouragement from that group of people, and as well as others along the way, I met a lot of people when I was blogging who encouraged me. One blogger actually gave me the idea for the name of this podcast, so props to them, like always. And really, it just led me to, okay, I'm going to get a mic, I'm going to get a lamp, and I'm going to figure out how to do these episodes, record them, just all the basics. And I'm still doing all those basics. I don't have a mixing board. I don't have a lot of things that maybe some higher end shows might have. I'm just basically a guy with a mic who is just really passionate about what they're feeling in their heart and really passionate about talking to all these great entrepreneurs. And really, the show is a tribute to entrepreneurs who they were basically the ones to really give me the encouragement and that extra nudge I needed to put myself out there like this. And I have loved the hell out of every minute of doing this show. Yeah, there have been some bumps in the road for sure, and those bumps in the road, anytime I feel like, man, I let myself down or I didn't do something good enough or well enough, I mean, I'm very gutted by those experiences. Believe me, I just really just want to put out the best show, the best content that I can, and connect. I love connecting with the guests and just really, I don't even know how to explain it. The feeling I get when I do an episode and make the connection and the vibe is really good, there's just no way to explain how that feels. And just the boost that that gives me and really just makes me want to do more episodes and meet more people who can inspire me. And hopefully, through that inspiration and that energy, hopefully I'm inspiring others and getting other people excited about the content. And I'm really amazed by how this show has evolved because it's still all about the fork in the road, entrepreneurship. And I'm really trying to stay true to that message, but I have also learned a lot along the way. And I've learned that sometimes you just gotta let the person on the other end just kind of steer the ship. I mean, I'm the host. I obviously have to be the one to lead, but it's okay to let the guests kind of say their thing. They're here for a reason. They're passionate about something, just like I'm passionate for the knowledge, the inspiration, and a plethora of other things I can't even think of off the top of my head. But I think you kind of just have to let the episode flow and see where it takes you. And even though the messages may not always be strictly and rigidly rooted in we're going to talk about the path and entrepreneurship, it goes sometimes in directions that I think are not only needed for those who listen, but it's needed for me. I'm learning so much about myself because I've been through a lot in my life. There's been a lot of obstacles, a lot of ups and downs, and I've learned so much. The wisdom that some of these professionals are bringing, whether it's about their craft or about how they got to where they are, it just blows my mind. And they're all lessons I need to hear. And for me, I don't know if I've ever really had like a mentor per se. Obviously, there's been people who have inspired me along the way and have given me the nudge that I needed, or maybe the hint, or whatever it is that I've needed. But I've lived a life where I've had to dig deep and have had to just figure it out. So it's really great for me to bring all of these amazing people that I never would have met otherwise onto my show. So grateful that they all take the time out of their busy lives, as I think most of our lives are. I certainly know my life has been crazy busy. When I started this show, I was like, well, I have tons of time. And of course, that was back around the pandemic. So a lot of us had a lot of time back then. But I felt even removing myself from all that, I was like, I generally have enough time to create a show, to do a show like this. And I thought, oh, if I really stick to it, and if I get the guests and everything goes the way I want it to go, I'll be able to hit 100 episodes no problem in, a few years. Now, I guess it would really be about over the 4-year anniversary of this show. And I'm just hitting 100 episodes soon. It's either soon or it's happened, depending on when I post this. But I have had to really stick with it. And I've learned a lot along the way. And I think at the end of the day, hey, I could have quit this show after 2020. I didn't even have an intro or outro. I was just hitting record, talking to people that I knew that were very close to me, and just sending it to Apple, sending it to YouTube, and just calling it a day. But I think in 2021, as I dug in more and expanded my network and really started to dig deep and learn how to expand this show a little bit, I think I started to realize that, hey, I got through 2020, which was a very hard year for pretty much all of us, and I still felt the passion for the show, the message, what I wanted to do with all this, what I want to do moving forward. And it was about that time, if not even after that, because there were plenty more obstacles along the way, 2021, 2022, and there's going to be obstacles in the future, I'm sure. But I really just started to learn. I just could not give up on doing this show. And I don't give up easy anyway. It's in my blood. And I've had such a life of people counting me out, not really fitting in, and just having a hard time really finding my way to where I at least feel like, okay, I feel like I'm really on that path that is 110% true to me. So it's just been really hard for me to give up. Like, I really believe in what I have to say. I believe in what I'm doing. And it really took for all that encouragement for people to say, hey, you sound good. You look fine when you're doing video content. It took for all that outside feedback from all those awesome people that I trusted to realize that, hey, I really can put myself out there, because this kind of thing has always been in my gut, in my heart. I just didn't think that I could do it properly. And I've come to learn that I can. And that for me is huge, that belief. And that's really what I want to teach people. I mean, there's a lot of things I want people to learn from the show, but I'm a guy, cleft lip and palate, a lot of other issues, a lot of challenges along the way. I have every reason to just hide behind the desk and just do a job, which I'm basically doing and have been doing my whole career, I guess. But I have every right to just be content with that and not put myself out there and not do things like this. But I have woken up to the fact that I can do it. And it has been really rewarding for me to not only put myself out there and to do it and make a show out of it, a product, but to also just have these amazing people with all these tremendous accomplishments, reputations coming on my show and wanting to talk to me. Like, that in and of itself is enough for me to be like, hey, I have every right to believe in myself and keep on going. Look at who I'm getting on my show. Look at the great content we're creating. Look at the great conversations we're having. So for me, it's just been so incredibly beneficial to me as a person. And I really hope the first 100-ish episodes of this show, this podcast, has been equally beneficial and inspiring to those who have been on it, those who are listening, and I have a lot of ideas. I'm ready to move into the future and to bring more great content. I'm ready to do more episodes like this. I have not been able to do it so much, but I'm really hoping to do more things like this on my own. And I just want to continue to bring these amazing people on. And everybody from Scott Stoltz, who was my first episode, Laura Malik, who was one of the first, and Taylor Harrell Goodwin, just you name it. I mean, for me to try to sit here and name every guest is just, even for somebody like me who has a pretty good memory, it's hard to do. But man, oh man, each and every one of you, I really thank you and appreciate you. And hopefully, I'm just getting started. Hopefully, I'll have more like live content coming, maybe more of these episodes. Who knows what else? But I'm looking forward to doing things like going to Podfest next year, maybe if I can. Would love to meet fellow podcasters in person, content creators, and I'm just totally in. I feel like this is so in my blood to be a content creator, entrepreneur, and I'm really looking forward to just doing more content and bringing more to the universe, more good, more hopefully to inspire. And I just can't wait to do more episodes. So this is really just a rambling, not quite 100th episode, a big pat on the back, a big thank you for listening, a big thank you to all those who have been on my show. Can't wait to produce more great content, and not much more than I can say. Stay tuned. There is more Mark My Words on the way, and I appreciate each and every one of you for listening. And I will be back soon, hopefully soon, with another solo episode of Mark My Words. I know more episodes with guests are coming. Thank you, and I will see you soon.